from the spring 2012 issue of the now sadly defunct Flashquake. It's called Their Long Hair. Their long hair beckoned to me like the serpentine coils of a Mucha painting, or off the pages of The Rape of the Lock. It was biblical. I wanted to eat it, be strangled by it, be like Delilah and cut it off to possess them, fall asleep and smother in it, wind my fingers deeply and tightly into it, bringing their faces close enough to bite into the apples of their fair cheeks. Evan's gold ringlets, pre-Raphaelite and angelic, glowing violet and white under a black light, the garish faces of crucified clowns adorning his walls, his fat blonde coils on fire, with the acid dilating my pupils, growing right before my eyes, a curtain blocking out the cartoon faces as he leaned in to suck the breath out of my lungs. It stuck to my fingers as I tripped and went searching its depths for a bottom. I never found one, just the plunging of my fingertips into a well of his perfect yellow curls and how my skin met his hair and discovered breathing. Charles wore it in a braid or a ponytail, thick as a rope, straight as a ladder, inky black as the night against a full moon. I dared not touch it, for fear I would not stop, his face too near that hair, full of lips and eyes that revealed nothing but more secrets. That hair, too, a secret, worn loose too few times to commit anything to memory, except the punch in my chest and my quaking legs, as its beauty swallowed me up and spat me back out again. That dark braid's heft in my hand, unexpectedly dense, after he sawed through it with a Gurkha knife after graduation, symbolically severing himself from his studies, the wail of my aching heart as his steady hand touched mine, placed the braid in it for safekeeping before presenting it to his mother. Justin, berets like Che Guevara, goateed and intense, his hair dark and soft, fine, rarely corralled in a ponytail, worn loose and free over his shoulders. He slept narrowly on a dorm room twin bed, pressing my back against the cool wall. His hair sucked up into my nose and mouth as I breathed, gagging on it, unable to keep away from it, pulling it to yank him in to kiss me, sucking wisps of it for serenity while he slept and I couldn't. I left him. He cut his hair. How it changed his face, the new shortness. I could stand next to a man whose heart I had broken by leaving, never recognizing him without his hair. My traitorous heart, my fickle eyes. Jared, a ginger, who made me black and bitter like coffee, hair thick and coarse like smelted copper and molten gold, metallurgy pulled back into a grunge half ponytail, shaved beneath, worn slicked back with gel sometimes, its color and his colorless eyes a fascination. The otherworldliness of gingers, so strange and pallid, all milk and fire, honey and ice, wolfy eyes, pale and unrimmed. The hair promises other, more intimate hairs, also on fire, so queer and perverse. Interest piqued to find out, does it match? It does, I found, and that ginger hair should have been the warning of a heartbreaking magic of a witchy man. Wade, a lion's mane, tousled waves and feline roughing, hair somehow bigger, messier, wildness surrounding delicate features and fine bone structure. Winding it through my fingers, gripping and pulling, jaws colliding on sleepless nights and mornings, how his hair grew larger, wilder, the more my hands found it and raked through it, ash blonde and cool like mine, but waved, thickly falling on my face, blooming, fanned out behind his head on the pillow, my own hair, the curtain over his face. Traded in, the ponytail and me, for things which could be tamed and trained. Not so, that hair in my grappling hands. So many yards of hair, their names don't even matter. Colored goth black number one with a Jufro whose kinky curls were my drunken fascination. Dreadlocks I caressed like pet caterpillars. Wickedness, the curls and ripples and bored straight locks of hair cascading over their taut shoulders, the V of their backs, and on one sheer down to the curve of his ass, tickling the cleft and poisoning my heart like Medusa, snake-headed, stone changers, their hair my idols of perversity. A noose to hang from or a lash to drag me to hell. Their long hair my joy and my downfall. Soft arrows, their bolts and braids and ponytails that bend filigreed spikes into my flesh. I cut off your hair, Samson, not for gold, but to have power over you the way it has power over me.